Welcome back everyone, it's Eric from Rare Candy here. Today we are back with another entry into our testing round series, taking a look at some more Rebel Clash decks that we have in action. You know, PTCGO is going up later this week, but you know, we found some time to cram in a couple more in real life matches and videos for you guys before we start transitioning over to PTCGO content. But here in this entry we have gyrosean on the left. He is a fellow PokeTuber and actually one of our patrons. He was nice enough to help me put this video together. He's going to be playing Turbo Boltund over on the left, and then over on the right you have myself. I'm going to be playing Dragapult, and note that it's not Dragapult VMAX, this is baby Dragapult. So the stage 2 one that we are also getting in Rebel Clash. So we'll have to see if it can, you know, kind of live up to the expectations set on its big brother also coming out in the set. So here it looks like I am getting to go first. Gonna get down a psychic energy. From there, I don't really have too much else in my hand. I have a mysterious treasure. I think actually I should probably play that because I don't think I see a supporter. But just to thin a card out of deck. But looks like I'm just getting down the attachment and passing over to Sean. So Sean's going to use Energy Spinner. So this is actually great for him if he is going second. On his first turn, he can search his deck for 3 basic energies, put them into his hand. So the idea with this Turbo Boltund deck, you know, unlike some of the other uses we've kind of seen get talked about for Boltund, this deck is going all in on Boltund as an attacker. It's not just like a one-of for the early game or anything like that. And so with this deck, we're basically trying to get 5 energy into the discard pile turn 1. That way we can use Zamora GX's full voltage GX attack to accelerate 5 energy from discard to any of our Pokemon in play. So that is what Sean's no doubt going to be trying to do here. Going to be pitching away some energies. So here he's going to discard his other Zamora GX. Going for a Deandre GX, it does appear. Now, I think he might have actually missequenced a little bit. We do see that speed lightning energy in his hand. I kind of want to see him attach that first because what he draws off of the lightning energy might affect what he wants to quick ball for. So let's see, he's going to get 2 cards with this new speed lightning energy, special energy that we're getting in the set. So he's going to find himself an Acrobike and a Professor's Research. Let's see what he gets. Soft Acrobike, he does get a Deandre and a Boltund. So yeah, that's kind of what I was saying, guys. I kind of wanted to see him play out the rest of his cards first before going for the quick ball, because he could have theoretically grabbed something different since he knew he would draw into a Deandre as an example. But here it looks like he's going to get down an Electric Power, and I'd imagine we'll probably say Professor's Research from here if I just had to guess, just because if he wants to find a Deandre GX, that will probably be easier for him to do than to find a supporter after he gets rid of this hand. He's just debating, it looks like, between which way does he want to draw cards. And here he's going to favor the Research. I definitely like that because he could still draw into another Quick Ball or an Electromagnetic Radar or something like that. Now, I'm not sure how many energies that Sean's managed to be able to get into his discard pile so far, but I think it's 3. Because of that energy spinner. So he definitely needs at least 2 more in the discard pile. So he's going to play Electromagnetic Radar. That is going to be one of the ways he can find himself a way to draw some more cards here. So that is going to allow him to find the Deandre GX out of his deck. And I'm pretty sure that's the only lightning Pokemon he still has remaining. He discarded his other Zamora right at the beginning of the game here. So this will allow him to dump his hand and keep on digging with his Turbo Boltund deck. So as you can see, this deck plays a ton of ways to get going. It has the Acrobikes, the new Speed Lightning Energies, Research, Deandre. So it has no problem drawing cards here. So it looks like he's just checking how many energies he's gone through up to this point. He does have another Air Balloon. He has an Acrobike. Okay, so the Acrobike he is going to discard. I don't think it matters too much because he's going to dump his hand either way. He does have another Air Balloon, so I guess we'll probably see it come down on the active. I don't think it really matters too much, but may as well get it down just in case of a theoretical power plant or like a Mimikyu or something like that. So here he's going to ditch his hand, get a fresh hand of 6 here. Does find himself another Boltund. I do think that's good. That will allow him to spread around his energy a little bit with full voltage GX to a couple different attackers. And from there, I think, yeah, we'll probably just see him attack. I don't think there's really anything else we want to see from Sean at this point. So it looks like he is going to go for that full voltage GX attack. Like I said, it's going to allow him to get 5 basic energies, or 5 basic lightning energies, I should say, from his discard pile and attach them to his Pokemon any way that he likes. So it looks like he's contemplating, does he want to play any other cards before going for the attack? But I think it's fine if he wants to sit on that hand. So yeah, as you can see, he's going to go for that GX attack. So let's see where he's going to get his energy down on. So he's going to get, looks like an energy on Zero Aura. Probably just the other energy on... Okay, yeah, that was his 5th one. So here, I'm going to get down a Horror Psychic Energy, and I'm going to go for a Mysterious Treasure. So... yeah, I still have a support, so I think I'm going to have to go for the Dragapult here, unfortunately. So Dragapult, you know, even though things are looking bad for me right now, Dragapult actually has a very good ability where whenever your opponent attacks into, you flip a coin. If heads, you actually prevent that damage. So I can actually hang in there a little bit. Potentially, if I can get lucky on a coin flip for a turn or so, I can maybe find myself a supporter card or at least another basic. But here I'm just going to use that attack on Dragapult. It's 120 and puts 3 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon any way that you like. So it's actually kind of like the VMAX, you know, slightly weaker, but you know, that's fair. You only give up 1 prize compared to 3. But let's see what Sean's going to do here. He does have that Speed Lightning Energy in hand, so we'll probably see it on the Zero Aura. So he's going to draw 2 more cards. And let's see, we're going to see an Acrobike. Discarding a Shuckle. He does find himself a Crushing Hammer. It's a card we have not seen up until this point. Definitely is going to be good against this Dragapult deck. So he's going to go for the Crushing Hammer. And he does get heads, so he's going to get rid of that Horror Psychic Energy. That way he doesn't take damage whenever he does attack into me throughout this game. But if I flip tails on my ability, I just lose either way. But, you know, Sean's definitely giving himself the most amount of outs possible here. And looks like he's going to just retreat, just to try to save that Zero Aura a little bit since it is damaged right now. He doesn't want to flip tails, or he doesn't want me to flip heads on an attack and then Zero Aura get knocked out. So this is definitely a big flip. If I flip tails, then I just lose. And yeah, as you can see, that is tails, so we're just going to scoop it up and go to a game 2. So definitely a heartbreaking game for the Dragapult deck. One thing is nice though, you do kind of get to see the core strategy of the Boltund deck. It got set up very, very well. Had a pretty ideal turn 1, you know, with the Boltund deck. I think you actually want to go second more often than not anyways. So you can see exactly how that deck is supposed to get set up. Now, hopefully I can find myself a way to draw cards in this game. That is definitely the issue I had last game. Everything kind of went against me. You know, Sean got his Crushing Hammer heads. I flipped tails on my ability. I didn't have a supporter. So, you know, luckily anything can kind of get better from here. That is kind of the silver lining to this. So let's see. Looks like I am opting to go first here. Okay. You know, I think there's actually a world where maybe I should go second, just to prevent the turn 1 attack from Sean and allowing myself access to a supporter card. But here, it looks like I'm still doing okay. I found myself a Jirachi. I have a Dreepy in play. And it looks like I might be going for a Rosa off of that Stellar Wish. Or it looks like I'm going for Treasure instead. So I'm going to use Mysterious Treasure. Or 2 Mysterious Treasures. So getting rid of, it looks like, a Boss's Orders for one of them, and discarding another Mysterious Treasure for the other. So 3 Mysterious Treasure down on turn 1, which does feel kind of bad. But here I'm going to go for an Inkay and a Dreepy. So I do play a thin Malamar line in this Dragapult deck. Dragapult unfortunately does take 2 manual attachments, and unlike the VMAX, it doesn't have that strong tank ability where you can safely get down 2 manual attachments. A lot of times your Dragapult is just going to get knocked out, so I think we do need a way to cheat an extra energy into play from time to time with this deck. So not a bad turn 1, no energy attachment. I did have to burn it to retreat into Jirachi, but that's fine. And it looks like Sean's having, you know, he doesn't have his favorite starter. He is starting a Dedenne, which is definitely a bummer. But it looks like he's going for a Quick Ball, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see what he's going to grab here. You know, I imagine he's probably looking for a Zero Aura or a Dedenne if his hand is dead. So it looks like he is going to go for the Dedenne here. That will allow him to discard his hand and get a fresh hand of 6. And he did get an Air Balloon, so that's definitely really nice. It's going to definitely make it getting the turn 1 full voltage a bit easier on him, since he doesn't have to find an additional energy onto another Pokemon. So here he is going to play Electro Power at the very least. And let's see, he does find himself I think it's electromagnetic radar in his hand. That would definitely be good. So he can play energy spinner if he would like to. He's got 3 in the discard already. So yeah, we definitely want to see the energy spinner. It's going to allow him to get 3 more lightnings out of his deck. And so we'll probably see him go back in with that electromagnetic radar. He's already gone down 2 Dedennes. I'm not sure if he has his 3rd one in deck. You know, hopefully he does. Otherwise, he might be in a similar spot as me. But here he does have the 3rd Dedenne, it appears. So he's going to grab that and Zero Aura. And he has the Boltunds in hand. So yeah, he was able to cobble together a pretty solid turn 1 here. He's going to be able to get that full voltage GX going this game. So looks like we might see another Boltund come down. I think I don't mind that if he wants to do that. We probably won't see the Shuckle come down. He was able to find what he needed pretty well without Shuckle, so we'll probably just see him discard that next turn with another Dedenne. So here, yeah, he is going to be able to go for the full voltage GX, getting all of those energies into play here. So let's see how he's going to distribute these. Okay, seems pretty good. 2 fully powered up Boltunds and a Zero Aura that's 1 attachment away from being powered up. So it looks like I'm going straight for a Stellar Wish, it appears. I think I saw a Viridian Forest out of those 5 cards, but here I'm gonna go for a Quick Ball. Discarding another Psychic Energy in the process, going for another Jirachi. So just in case this Jirachi goes down and I'm not set up yet, I want to have another one in play to promote after this active one gets knocked out, potentially. So you can see the Dragapult deck doing a bit better than last game. And I actually am going to get down a Skateboard and go for another Stellar Wish. Can I find a supporter? That's one thing I've not gotten. Okay, and I do find a Cynthia. So now, hopefully my deck can take off a little bit here. Definitely want to get down a manual attachment if at all possible. Finding Malamar would actually be good as well to start getting some of these energies back into play. Getting some extra attachments is going to be very important with this Dragapult deck. So let's see what we can find off of these 6 cards. So I think I do see a Psychic Energy at the least. I see a Dragapult, I see Quick Ball, so gonna discard two Quick Balls. Well, use 1 Quick Ball to discard the other, I should say. But here I'm gonna grab Ditto Prism Star, so just in case Inkay gets targeted down, I will have another way to evolve into Malamar, and also I can evolve into Dracloak that way as well. So here I'm going to get down a Psychic Energy on Dreepy and then just pass back over to Sean here. So he does top deck a Speed Lightning Energy. That's definitely nice. He's going to get that down on his Zero Aura GX. You know, nothing else too great there. We'll probably just see him use the Dedenne GX to discard his hand. So that seems okay. And he does find a Professor's Research, has Crushing Hammer. That is also good if he doesn't find a Boss's Orders. So let's see, he does have the Acrobike. Okay, does find Crushing Hammer, so more than likely he is going to remove another energy from play, you know, kind of making, you know, the need to find Malamar even more imperative here. So here he does go for the Crushing Hammer. He is going to get rid of that Psychic Energy. Crushing Hammer, you know, surprisingly doing very well against this Dragapult deck. It's mainly in this Boltund list to deal with ADP and also Dragapult VMAX, but as you can see, it's still kind of an annoyance even for this baby Dragapult deck as well. From here, I imagine we'll probably see a Plasma Fist to knock out this Jirachi. That way Sean can pull ahead in the prize exchange, and he's going to and I'm going to promote my other Jirachi, getting down another manual attachment on Dreepy here, and going for a Stellar Wish. I do have Cynthia in hand, but I must already have one of my evolution pieces if I'm going for that. Okay, I must have been looking for rare candy, but here I'm just going to go for a Cynthia and get down a Dreepy and play Cynthia. So I had Dragapult. I was probably getting a little bit greedy, saying, you know what, if I can find my rare candy here, I could just immediately get my stage 2 into play, thin out some more cards before I played the Cynthia. So a lot of times you would want to Stellar Wish after your supporter, but this is one of those instances where there's like a kind of a reasonable decision to maybe doing it a little early here. So let's see what I'm going to do. It looks like I don't really see any more evolution pieces, unfortunately, so it looks like I might be considering retreating this Jirachi, actually. Debating sending up the Inkay, it looks like, and sacrificing that. So trying to save this Jirachi, you know, just saying, no, I want to like save my consistency options here. And this is definitely what I think Sean wants to see. Getting easy prizes is going to be one of the main ways he's going to win this matchup, I think, overall. So he's going to get down there, speed, lightning energy, drawing some more cards. I think I see another crushing hammer in his hand. That is definitely good. So we'll see him play that. Can he get another heads? Okay, so finally he got a tails. He was overdue. He would have been 3 for 3 so far in this video. So let's see what he's going to do from here. It looks like he's just going to retreat into Boltund since he can't use that Plasma Fist attack 2 turns back to back. And I almost kind of want to see him use Professor's Research to find a boss's orders for next turn. But, you know, it's fine. He's going to jump ahead, take his second prize. I'm going to get down a Dracloak, bench another Jirachi, get down a Horror Psychic on this Dreepy. And no doubt this turn I'm going to attempt to find my Rare Candy Dragapult. So gonna go for Cynthia, and if we can find Rare Candy Dragapult, we're gonna be in business and gonna be able to start stabilizing and putting on some pressure onto Sean, since kind of need to. He's already 2 prizes up. So let's see, a Spell Tag, I believe, a Quick Ball. Do see Dragapult. Oh, and I did get the Rare Candy. So we finally have a game, guys. So we have the Rare Candy, have the Spell Tag. Gonna go for a Stellar Wish as well here. Let's see what I'm going to try to find. Okay, another Rare Candy. That's good. Okay, so that'll be nice to have for potentially the next turn. So here I'm going to use Dragapult. It, like I said, it has an attack kind of similar to the VMAX, a little bit weaker, but does 120 and then 3 damage counters to your opponent's bench Pokemon any way that we like. But, you know, we do have that Horror Psychic energy that will get some more damage in play. We have Spell Tag as well. So let's see. It looks like Sean's going to get energy down on this Dedenne. Going to go for a Crushing Hammer. Does flip Tails. Okay. And we see Energy Spinner. We see a couple of E-Power. See Quick Ball. We see Professor's Research. I mean, I don't know how many energy Sean's gone through. Maybe that's why he has not been playing the Professor's Research. But I think I do want to see him use that, because if he can keep finding boss's orders, he can play around Dragapult and never have to risk his attacks being denied on a coin flip. So we'll have to see what he's going to do here. And yeah. And it looks like I do flip heads, so the damage is going to be prevented. That's a really big coin flip here. So now I'm going to basically be able to get down a free additional 120 on the next turn, which is great. So I'm going to get down an energy on this Dreepy here, and it looks like I'm going to go for a Marnie. Despite already having a Rosa in hand, I kind of want to find another Dragapult to evolve this Dracloak so it doesn't get picked off by like a boss's orders or something like that. Or maybe a Malamar to get another energy into play. That also could be good as well. So let's see. Nothing else from my side. It looks like I'm just going to go for the attack with Dragapult to start to stagger my damage in a way that's going to hopefully allow me to knock out this Zeraora and then 2 Boltunds. I think that's kind of my win condition here. And you can see me spreading my damage counters kind of accordingly as well to set up that eventual play. So that's, I think, going to be it from my end as far as I can tell. And not really sure what we're discussing at this point. Because I don't see Sean doing anything. Oh, I think we were talking about how much damage is on the field, because I think it was hard for me to see. And then, like I said, I do ultimately decide to put the damage counters on these Boltunds. So maybe we were just discussing how much I was going to put on them compared to the other. Not sure, but I think that's what we were talking about here. So it looks like Sean is going to start his turn here, and he draws into 2 boss's orders. That's actually really good. And he draws into a 3rd one. And that's a tough acrobat, because I think he wants both of those cards, but I think he needs to prioritize the boss's orders. So I like that. I kind of want to see him bring up the Dracloak or maybe the Dreepy. You know, and that's why I've kind of staggered my energy like that, guys. That's why I didn't attach to the Dracloak, because if Sean ever got boss's orders, it would force him to have to choose between taking out a stage 1 or taking out a basic with an energy. So it makes his plays a little less, you know, complicated, or a little bit more complicated, and makes it so that all my resources aren't stacked just on one singular Pokemon. So I imagine we'll see the boss's orders come down. He probably wants to avoid any more coin flips for the rest of the game, as much as possible at least. So yeah, we are going to see that boss orders. That's that new supporter from Rebel Clash. It's going to allow him to switch my active with one of my bench Pokemon. And so he has a decision. He could even take out my energy acceleration. I think that's also an option as well. You know, Inkay is down. Ditto's my only other way to evolve into Malamar right now. But I still have Londa's Fishing Rod in my deck, and I don't think I've played that. So Sean's probably like, well, he could always get back Inkay or something if I knock out Ditto. So I'd rather take out his attackers. So here he is going to get rid of Dreepy since it has that energy. That's going to leave that Dracloak safe to just manually evolve into a Dragapult. So here I'm going to go for Stellar Wish. Let's see what I can get here. Going to go for a Spell Tag. Definitely another good card to get down. And I have a Rosa as well. So definitely a good turn for me. I'm going to be able to find myself a Dragapult, a Basic Energy, and looks like I'm going for a Treasure as well. And okay, so no energy. So I must be out of Basic Energies at least. So I'm going to go for a Spell Tag. Or I'm sorry, Mysterious Treasure. My bad, guys. Discarding a Rare Candy, it looks like. Going for Dragapult, so this way I can get my attacker and an extra energy in play with it as well. So since I'm out of basic energies, I definitely wanted to get both these Pokemon in play just in case of another boss's orders potentially. So here I'm going to Psychic Recharge onto the Dragapult and just retreat and get in another 120. I do have a Spell Tag in hand that I do need to get down as well. I'm pretty sure I do eventually get it down. There's no reason not to. So here we might just be discussing yet again where I'm going to put the damage counters. Again, I think I have to just put them on the Zeraora and Boltund. It's probably just like, what is the split of damage that I want to do? Like, do I want to put all 3 on one of them or stagger it like 2 on one, 1 on another? Oh, and here we're talking about the Spell Tag. Yeah, I'm going to get that down. And I think I was actually considering I could get it down on Malamar. And here you can see I'm a little bit conflicted on that. Because if he has boss's orders, Malamar is actually a pretty good target to take out since Sean could see him actually out of basic energies at this point. But here I am going to get it down on the Dragapult since that is ultimately my attacker. But I think it would have been an option to get it down on the Malamar as well. So here it looks like he's going to get down a Speed Lightning Energy on a Dedenne, and he does draw into Thunder Mountain, which is definitely good. That will reduce his attack cost by 1 lightning for the rest of the game here. So I think there actually is like a world where if he has Electro Power, he could theoretically boss his orders up Jirachi and knock it out with Dedenne. I think that's actually an option, believe it or not. So here we are going to see the boss's orders, and he is going to go for the Malamar. So now I'm kind of wishing, man, I kind of wish I would have put my Spell Tag there. But I think also if I'd put Spell Tag there, I think Sean might have just gone for my Jirachi with a Skateboard and avoided the extra 4 damage counter. So it's probably fine either way in terms of where I put the Spell Tag eventually. So it looks like we are discussing something here yet again. Really not sure what. Yeah, really not sure. So I imagine we're just going to see the Malamar get knocked out here. I'm going to promote Jirachi, of course, the one with the skateboard. And I do have boss's orders of my own in my hand. It does appear. So here I'm going to go for a Stellar Wish. So I'm choosing the Stellar Wish before I play a supporter. That's interesting. So I think I did see I had Marnie in hand, so I think there's a world where like I'm trying to thin to hit another Horror Psychic Energy. Because if I choose to play Marnie this turn, then I want to actually thin more items out of my deck and more trainer cards to potentially use or put at the bottom of my deck when I use Marnie. So I think that would be an acceptable place for me to use Marnie. I think I have boss's orders in my hand as well. I kind of wouldn't mind seeing that, if that would help me take a knockout too. But here I'm going to go for the Marnie. So maybe I'm worried about a Crushing Hammer. Like, if Sean has a Crushing Hammer left and he knocks out my active and removes an energy from my benched one, I won't actually have a follow-up attack. So I think that was kind of my thought process here. So it kind of winds up working out. I do find my energy and I am able to take a knockout here with Dragapult. Get my first 2 prizes, starting to hop back into this game. You know, Sean's down to, it looks like 2 prizes if I'm seeing correctly, so I definitely need to keep the pressure on here. And so it looks like Sean has himself an Acrobike, a Quick Ball. We'll probably see him discard the Great Catcher first, just to thin a card out of deck first. So let's see, he has a Boltund, he has Tapu Kokos. Yeah, we'll probably see Tapu Koko. That seems like a good card to thin some more out of your deck. Seems good before he uses the Acrobike here. So let's see, he is going to go for the Acrobike. Let's see what he gets here. Lightning Energy and Professor's Research. And he's probably just thinking, how many Lightning Energies have I gone through? But I think he can safely discard it. I'm also not sure how many cards are left in his deck, but if he can safely research, that's definitely the card he grabs. Here he gets down Boltund, but I think he does change this because he's like, wait, I should probably burn the Tapu Koko. There's no reason not to. So yeah, he should definitely do that. That's definitely the correct play. So he's going to get down the Tapu Koko Prism Star, use that Dance of the Ancients ability, get those 2 Lightning Energies from discard pile into play, then get down Boltund and use Professor's Research. That's definitely the correct play here. So we see him draw into Electro Charger, another Research, Energy. You know, honestly, nothing very usable here. We could see the Electro Charger potentially. But yeah, this is a turn where he's going to be forced to actually attack into Dragapult. And having the Thunder Mountain play is actually huge here because now he can actually attack me with a fresh Boltund. And so here he's going to burn that Quick Ball. Nothing left in deck he really wants to see. So just taking a peek, make sure there's nothing in there he still needs. But at the very least, that Quick Ball will be thinned out of deck, which is nice. But yeah, Thunder Mountain being in play, enabling this Boltund, this fresh one to attack for 1 energy is actually huge because now this is going to force me to find boss's orders to close out this game in a timely fashion. Now, a couple of coin flips that go my way in the process could help me, but this is definitely a pretty big turn from Sean, being able to power up a new attacker. And let's see, it looks like I think that was a Tails that I flipped, so I think this Dragapult is going to go down. Looks like that's the case since he is getting down the damage counters from the Psychic Energy onto the active. Of course, whenever he attacks into the Pokemon with the Horror Psychic Energy, they are forced to take 2 damage counters in the process. So here looks like when you Spell Tag to actually knock out this Zeraora. And if I remember correctly, I think I do forget to take my prizes here. But I eventually do correct that, guys. So just give me a minute. I will eventually grab those. So this is a turn where if I can grab a boss's orders off of Jirachi, I can actually just win. So here I'm going to get down another Dreepy though with a Horror Psychic Energy, and I'm going to use Stellar Wish, and I do find a Rosa. Unfortunately, that is not quite what I'm looking for, but if I have a switch in hand, and I think I do, I can actually retreat into this other Jirachi, try again, and if I hit the boss's orders, that is going to be the game, because I think I can actually bring up this other Boltund and just knock it out. Okay, and here you can see us discussing, I did forget to take my prizes for the Zeraora. So yeah, definitely important. 2 prizes is definitely a big deal here. So I am going to retreat into this other Jirachi, go for my second Stellar Wish. Let's see what I can get here. And there it is, the boss's orders. So I can just bring up this damaged Boltund on the bench, take a knockout with Dragapult, and you know, close out this game. That was definitely a pretty close one. So I'm gonna tie up the series now 1-1. You can see, you know, when you do flip heads with Dragapult, definitely very impactful. I'm not sure what was in Sean's hand, but it looks like he was going to draw into boss's orders pretty quickly there. Potentially on the next turn, I'm not sure if he had Acrobike or Speed Lightning or what, but it looks like he might have even had game on the next turn had I not found the boss's orders. So we're going to jump into game 3, and we're jumping right into it here. Sean's camera did miss a little bit of the beginning. I think it died or something, but this is actually the first turn of the game. Nothing has happened so far, but just jumping right into it. I have a Jirachi Star. It looks like I've already used Stellar Wish, and I'm going for a Quick Ball or a Mysterious Treasure. Can't tell. I don't think it matters too much which is which. I'm just going to say Quick Ball though, in case I am going for a Jirachi or Ditto or something like that. So let's see what I'm going to grab here. Looks like just going for a second Dreepy. I think that's probably fine. Going to get down an Inkay as well. So definitely a pretty solid little first turn so far. And it looks like I'm debating if I want to go back in my deck. I think I have a Viridian Forest, but unsure if there's anything I wanted to actually discard from my hand. I think that was the issue. Because I think I see a Marnie, Lana's Fishing Rod, and I'm not sure what the other card is. But it looks like I am just going to shuffle up from after that Quick Ball. That must mean I'm not going to go back into my deck. So no energy attachment, unfortunately. But nevertheless, I think this was a strong turn one from my deck. Found my Energy Accelerator basic and my basics for my attacker. And here you can see I'm still heavily conflicted, but I am ultimately, I think, just going to pass over to Sean here. So he definitely needs to find himself a Zeraora. He needs an Energy and either a Thunder Mountain or Tapu Koko Prism Star. But here, that's a kind of a rough acrobat. He gets a Zeraora and Professor's Research. He just has to really hope that his other Zeraora is not prized, because he has to draw cards this turn. He just has to. And he is going to have to discard, looks like, a Boss's Orders in the process this turn, which is definitely not fun either. But at the very least, this will get plenty of energy into the discard right away for him. So let's see what he is going to do. I definitely want to see him just discard this hand. Looks like he is going to get down the energy on Rayquaza, but I don't think he needs to. This deck plays 15 energy, so he will more than likely draw back into another one. So here he is going to find himself the Dene. He does find himself Speed Lightning as well. So that is good. So we might see him use the Energy Spinner potentially. And thin some more cards out of deck for this Speed Lightning to maybe draw himself into what he needs. Oh, but that's right. If he attaches it to Rayquaza, he is not going to be able to draw the cards. But you're just going to go for Electro Charger. That's going to allow him to flip 2 coins. For each head, put an Electro Power from discard back in deck. So that's nice. Discarding those early hasn't been a big loss to him so far. Also, too, luckily, the Dragapult only has 150 HP, so a lot of the times, Electro Power is not even too great, but definitely against some of the 2 and 3 prize decks, that could have been pretty big here. So here, Sean's going to go for that Energy Spinner. That is going to allow him to get some more energies out of deck. No doubt, he does want to find himself Zeraora GX, as well as a Dedenne or something like Thunder Mountain. So I think we might see him attach one of these energies to the Rayquaza, just because he is going to be reliant on that free retreat that the Zeraora GX will provide in order to be able to retreat this thing. So I think this is where I do actually want to see him make an attachment here. So let's see what he's going to do. Okay, yeah, so he is going to attach to Rayquaza. I definitely think that is correct. And here he's just going to Dedenne his hand away, drawing a fresh hand of 6. And there's the Quick Ball, so he will be able to actually get down a Zeraora if he chooses to. And he has an Acrobike as well, so that wound up working out pretty decently for him. So he's going to go for the Acrobike. Let's see what he grabs here. Ooh, he gets the Thunder Mountain as well. That's really big. And so he does need to Quick Ball. And what is he going to Quick Ball away? That's the next question. I think probably Electro Power is the one thing that makes the most sense. Yeah, it seems good. So here he can grab Zeraora. Just fingers crossed his other one is not prized. And okay, there it is. So we do have a game. That would have been really bad if he did whiff. But, and he has the Thunder Mountain as well to go with it. So he is going to be able to barely get the turn 1 full voltage GX. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a Boltund to go with the Zeraora, but it's okay. He can still set up to where Plasma Fist can take a knockout, or even actually Dedenne sometimes can allow you to take a knockout as well. But let's see where he's going to get down all of this energy. No doubt, I think 3 are going to go on the Zeraora. Probably the other 2 just on Dedenne. Okay, I see what he's doing though. He's going to allow himself to be able to leave himself with an energy on this Dedenne to attach with Speed Lightning. But here, I'm going to get down my Viridian Forest. Good thing I did not play it down. So now this Thunder Mountain is going to be gone for the rest of the game. So I think that's actually pretty big here, especially since he did not get a Boltund into play on turn 1. And I'm just going to go for a Marnie. So I think one of the big things I want to find is going to be energy, and maybe start evolving into maybe a Dragapult as well. And here it looks like I'm going to go for a Stellar Wish as well. Let's see what I can find here. I'm going to grab a Cynthia, probably just grabbing that for the following turn. And I think I have Rare Candy, but do I have a Treasure to go with it? So here I am going to get down Dreepy. And from there, yeah, not sure what I want to do, but probably thinking, what do I want to discard from my hand to use Viridian Forest? I think that's the big thing. I really need an energy attachment this turn. So it looks like I am going to discard a Switch. I think that's fine. You know, I play 3 more switching cards in the deck between the Skateboard and Switch, so that should be okay. Just really want to make sure I get down this manual attachment this turn. And from there, probably just see a pass. Because I imagine if I had the Dragapult, we would just see me immediately go Rare Candy Dragapult and get that into play. And yeah, just going to pass back over to Sean here. He is going to discard that Great Catcher with my own Viridian Forest, finding himself a Lightning Energy here. So let's see what he's going to do. He is going to go for, looks like Acrobike. And we do see him with Air Balloon, but he is going to discard that. Makes sense. He has the Zeraora in play anyways. He doesn't really need any more retreating options. But here he's going to get down the Speed Lightning. And, ooh, that's actually a really good draw because now, if he wants to, he actually could use the Dene GX to take a knockout on one of these turns. And he has Boss's Orders as well, so he could start targeting down Dreepies, but I almost kind of want to see him just knock out this Jirachi, to be honest. But here he's going to go for the Boss Orders, taking out this Dreepy with an energy. So I actually kind of don't mind that, just because I kind of want to keep this Jirachi safe. And here he does have the Electro Power, so looks like, did he go for Static Shock? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's right, because he already used full voltage, so he has to use the first attack on Dedenne here. Dedenne taking the first prize, something a little bit unexpected. So here I am going to find myself in a Skateboard, and I'm going to go for a Rosa as well. So Rosa, of course, activates whenever one of my Pokemon was knocked out on my opponent's last turn, but then I get search my deck for a Pokemon, a Basic Energy, and a Trainer card. So it looks like I'm going to be going for a Treasure. Probably that will find me Malamar if I just had to guess. And here I'm going to Treasure away. It looks like Boss's Orders, if I'm not mistaken. And so yeah, Malamar is going to enable me to be able to get off and attack this turn. And then from there, the Dedenne will only have 40 HP left. So that means a Spell Tag eventually could just pick this thing off and get me some easy prizes later on in the game. And so from there, no doubt, going to see the rest of the damage counters come down on Zeraora GX. Start setting that up for a KO as well, too. So it looks like Sean has Tapu Koko Prism Star. That's definitely going to be good. And, okay, he's going to get down a Lightning Energy on the Tapu Koko. So maybe he's thinking about actually attacking with the Koko at some point throughout this game. So he's going to go for Crushing Hammer. And he does get a head that is pretty big. So from there, he has Boss's Orders as well. What route does he want to go? I think there's an argument to be made to actually knocking out Malamar even. But I guess since I have Viridian Forest in play, knocking out Dreepy is actually probably better in this case. So I definitely do like this play if he does attack with the Dene, just because he actually does not want to retreat this damage to Dene, because that will enable my damage counters to be placed much more effectively, because now this Dene has 120 on it already. If I attack into it, that's 8 damage counters that are going wasted on the active. So yeah, this is definitely, I think, the right play here. And it looks like I'm just going to go for a Cynthia. So I actually don't mind that last turn too much though from Sean, because now I still have my Malamar, have my Dragapult, have my Jirachi still. I definitely want to find myself another Dreepy. That's going to be one of the big things though. And there I go. I do find another Dreepy. That's definitely good. Going to go for a Stellar Wish as well. I do find Quick Ball. So I wouldn't mind seeing maybe... we could see maybe Ditto come down. I think that's an option. Or maybe even just another Dreepy if I have one in deck. So let's see what I'm ultimately going to grab here. And it looks like I might be getting another Jirachi. Okay. So maybe just in case I want to go for some switching shenanigans. So if I'm getting Jirachi, that tells me that my other Dreepy or my Ditto, whatever it might be, are actually going to be prized here. Because otherwise, I would imagine I would probably go for one of those instead. So here I'm just going to Psychic Recharge onto the Dragapult, retreat into it, and we're going to knock out this Dedenne here, tying up the prize exchange. Now, unfortunately, I did have to waste some damage counters by attacking into this Dedenne again, but nevertheless, taking 2 prizes definitely feels good. And like I said, I think we're going to see me put probably all of the damage counters on this Zeraora, or maybe even put 1 on Tapu Koko. I think that's also an option here, just because the Tapu Koko has 130 HP. But it looks like I am just going to get them all on the Zeraora. That's fine. And you can see the Dragapult deck is doing pretty good. I think Sean's deck is actually not in the best spot. He does find himself Quick Ball, so he is going to be able to find himself a Boltund, finally. I know that's been one of the big things he's really been missing so far this game. But we'll have to see if he's actually going to burn the Tapu Koko and try to start powering up Boltunds, or if he's actually going to eventually power up the Koko and try to force the 7 prize game. I think forcing the 7 prize game could be good because the Turbo Boltund deck runs no other 1 prize attackers. And here we go, we have another Crushing Hammer that is going to be a Tails. And let's see what we're going to see from there. We do have a Lightning Energy in hand from Sean, so we'll have to see where he's going to put that. He's probably deciding, does he want to go for the Boltund? Does he want to go for the Koko? But part of me, I think, kind of wants to see a Tapu Koko actually get off and attack this game. But let's see. He is going to ultimately decide on the Koko, so we actually might see a Mach Bolt in the course of this game 3 here. So we see plenty of Boltunds, we see Air Balloon, Acrobike, another Crushing Hammer. So if we actually could see Crushing Hammer and Crushing Hammer discarding the energy off of the bench Pokemon and a knockout on the active, that would actually be huge. So here we are going to see an Air Balloon come down on Boltund V, it appears, just in case this Zeraora gets knocked out. Sean probably wants to give himself some sort of free retreating option. So Crushing Hammer, let's see. So he is going to get a Heads. I think we'll probably see him discard the energy off of the Dreepy. I think that's kind of a safe assumption here. Huh. Acrobike as well. Okay, so that play seems very unusual to me. I think it's definitely... Well, I think I could see maybe what Sean's doing if he doesn't knock me out. Okay, but he does. But maybe if he didn't knock me out, it might be hard for me to find another energy to get onto the active since a lot of my energy was in discard pile. But here I do find myself another Candy Dragapult, so I am able to set up a response. I definitely need to find myself another attacker to start getting set up though, just because if I flip Tails, next time he attacks me, I'm going to be out of attackers. So I'm going to go for a Cynthia. I'm probably looking for a Lannis Fishing Rod. That is a card that could be good here to find myself another Dreepy. Also, it could be nice to find myself a Horror Psychic Energy as well. We haven't seen too many of those up until this point in this game. And so gonna go for the Stellar Wish. Do we see Lannis Fishing Rod? Between that and the cards I drew off of Cynthia, I actually don't know if I have it. So it looks like I am gonna go for a Boss's Orders potentially, threatening that maybe for the following turn. And yeah, I do find the Horror Psychic Energy. That's definitely nice. Gonna recharge onto Jirachi just in case. May as well use the Psychic Recharge. And I do have a Spell Tag, I think, in hand, so I might see that come down on Malamar. But I also have Nihilego in hand, and I might be saving the Spell Tag for that. That could be good. So here it looks like I am going to be gearing up for an attack. Unfortunately, I did not find myself another Dreepy or anything like that. So this is actually going to be a big coin flip on Sean's next turn. If I flip tails and this Dragapult gets knocked out. Sean could be in a good spot to potentially run away with this game. But one thing that actually could go my way is I do have that Nihilego in hand. And for Nihilego, for its Nightcap attack, if your opponent has exactly 2 prize cards remaining, you get to copy one of their attacks and use it. So that, you know, could buy me a turn if this Dragapult does not survive this turn. So here we are going to see the retreat. We see the Electro Power. So we are going to see a Mock Bolt from Tapu Koko Prism Star. Definitely not an attack we see too often in Lightning decks, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do here. And so this will definitely be a big coin flip. And yeah, we are going to see it. And I do flip tails, so that means Dragapult is going to be knocked out. So here I am going to be able to get down 2 damage counters onto this active Koko. But also, I think I had Spell Tag. Yeah, I think I had Spell Tag. So I can get 4 damage counters somewhere else if I would like to. And it looks like I am choosing to knock out the Zeraora. That definitely seems good. I get myself some prize cards in the process. Maybe finding myself another Dreepy or something like that. And I definitely need to draw those prize cards. I've been really bad about that in this series for some reason whenever I take knockouts with Spell Tag. So here I do have the Nihilego. Nevertheless, I am going to Stellar Wish as well. So this is a card that has not been able to get shown off just yet in this series so far. And, you know, it's definitely a good card to throw down to take your opponent by surprise. And here I do remember to finally take my prizes. And I do find myself Ditto Prism Star. That's definitely good. That is one way I can eventually evolve into some of my Dragapults, maybe on a later turn. But this is actually, I think, a pretty big turn, because if I knock out this Tapu Koko, then we don't see Sean having another sort of follow-up for the next turn. Because the Rayquaza can't attack in this deck since it doesn't play Lightning Energy, and the Boltund is 2 attachments away. Oh, but here I am going to bring up the Boltund here. I'm not sure how many damage counters are on it, but a Nightcap, even if I don't knock it out, with a Spell Tag attached to the Nihilego, actually might kind of just threaten game. Because if this Nihilego ever gets knocked out, then this Boltund gets knocked out by the Spell Tag damage. So I think this is kind of like a checkmate scenario that we have here. Now, granted, like I said, I mean, even if this Tapu Koko had gotten knocked out, I think Sean would be kind of behind at that point either way. But I think this is definitely the better of the checkmate scenarios that exist, because now, like I said, if he ever knocks this thing out, that's going to be the game. And I'm pretty sure he is out of Boss's orders at this point as well, since we've seen him play 2, and I think he discarded 1 on turn 1 as well. So I'm not sure how many energies I've gone through, but if he flips heads on hammers, he could try to stall me. He does flip tails, unfortunately. I think that was maybe one of his only potential outs left at this point, is to maybe just run me out of energy on my active and make sure that I can't ever close out the game and try to deck me. But I think Sean's actually probably closer to decking out than I am. But here, looks like Sean's going to play it out just to show off how the game is going to go. But he's going to knock out this Nihilego. Mock Bolt does 120, which does put him down to 1 prize card. But of course, the Spell Tag damage will allow me to knock out the Boltund V for my last 2 prizes. And Dragapult is ultimately going to take the series against the Turbo Boltund deck. Definitely both these decks have some coin flips that have to go their way sometimes for them to come out on top, but still, nevertheless, I think this was a pretty cool series to watch. We actually recorded this series 2 different times, but the first footage got messed up, and actually this second batch of games we recorded actually wound up even being better. We got to see both decks kind of set up pretty well each game. And I think these games wound up being pretty cool. But if you guys are interested more in these decks that were shown off here, I will have links in the description to the full deck profile videos for both these decks whenever they do get uploaded as well. But if you did enjoy today's content, of course, feel free to like and subscribe, and also consider supporting this channel as well by becoming a patron over at patreon.com/rarecandytcg, or by picking up some merch at rarecandytcg.com. It would mean a lot. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.